Hi everyone, it's Giselle with a message about the energy update. So, from my last energy update, you may have sensed yourself in your own life that things were very heavy, things were falling apart, and it was a time of coming to realizations, a time of healing old wounds, and a time of letting go. And we may not always get closure for the wounds. We may not always get an apology, nor get any sort of explanation. But what we can get is freedom. And I feel now that we are stepping in and have already begun to step into this sense of liberation, a new chapter, letting go. Letting go is not easy. Letting go can be scary because you think, oh my goodness, I'm letting go of something that was so familiar to me. How am I going to do without it? And for a little while, you might actually start to feel that your world is becoming rather sparse, like there's just so much room now that you no longer have the things in it that you once did. But if you think about it logically, you have to make room for things to come in, for new things to come in. It's like with your wardrobe. I know that's a very relatable example for myself, is when I declutter things and, take certain items out of my wardrobe, it looks quite sparse for a while, and I'm thinking, wow, I don't have that much stuff. But then over time, you start to accumulate new things, things that you love even more than the things that you got rid of, and that's the same with life. You have to make room, embrace that space within your life that you can then allow to be filled with new things. It's always scary to change things. It's never going to be instantaneously liberating. There is a sense of liberation there, but then there's also a sense of dread where you think, oh my God, I'm not sure how this is going to work out. What are people going to say in certain instances? But you have to listen to your heart. You have to allow your heart to guide the way, your intuition. A lot of people say that intuition is your gut, which is true, but I found that when you tune into your heart, it gives you an even better sense of how things should be. So if you use your gut for your basic needs, when you then refine everything through tuning into your heart, it uplifts everything and gives it more clarity. I guess the way I'm trying to explain this is your gut instinct is like the synopsis. So this is basically what you're aiming for, but your heart's guidance gives you more detail. It's like the paragraphs, in the book, rather than just the little synopsis at the back. You get so much more information, so much more detail, so much more determined about everything when you tune into your heart. Your heart is the key to your soul, too, and to your soul back to your beloved. Your souls together, intertwined, are housed in your heart. And it is it's always important to listen to your heart, but I feel that right now is a time to tune into your heart even more than ever before, to really know what it is that you are wanting, because the answers are there. It just may be hard to hear sometimes because of all the noise and the clutter that surrounds us in our lives. But if we can tune in, be quiet, and let the heart speak, we will be able to hear what it's trying to tell us. This time has been extremely transformative very hard for very many people. I've had many clients contact me around this time, and their worlds have been transformed through events that look like it's breaking their life apart, but anything that isn't built on solid foundations has to be rebuilt. You cannot just build on a broken foundation and hope that it will be fine, because eventually it will break down again in the future. But if you break everything down first and start with a solid foundation, you will not have to worry down the line about having to fix that, that broken foundation that you once had. So take the time to, I guess, declutter your life and find out, why are you doing certain things? With me, unfortunately, I thought I'd already let it go, but apparently I hadn't. The people pleasing, it's always kind of been one of my problems, but I thought I'd already solved that issue until I was confronted again with, why am I continuing to do the things that make me unhappy? Oh, it's because I'm scared of what others might say. But ultimately, you need to realize that you need to trust your intuition. Your heart will lead the way. And it may be a little bit scary and it may be a little bit uncomfortable initially. But if you can stick to what your guidance is giving you and trust that it's doing so for your soul's growth, then that is exactly what's happening. My issue, and this sounds crazy now reflecting back at it, was that my person was always too busy. Put his career first and didn't really give enough time to do the things in life that make him happy, like having relationships, or thinking, well, who's going to want to be in a relationship with someone who's too busy? And stupidly, I did the same thing. Inadvertently, I thought I was bettering myself, but now I've come to realize that I don't need to do or gain any sort of qualification to better myself, and that my business speaks for itself, and that I already am enough right now. It's really discouraging when, especially people in the spiritual community, are surrounded by naysayers and people who discard our gifts and think that we're a bit cuckoo, which honestly is not the case. But we need to stand up for ourselves and stop allowing these opinions to essentially rule over our own thoughts and therefore our lives. It's been challenging for me to come out of my shell in terms of my gift. People in real life I've always feared would not accept me for who I was merely because my family didn't, but my friends have accepted me, and my person, although probably a bit of a shock when I told him, does accept me, and therefore I have to fully accept myself and know that what I'm doing right now is more than enough, and that the universe will always provide, and I will never be let down or not have enough. I will always have more than enough. You create your world. You have to truly believe in yourself to push through with the things that you know you are wanting. It's not about I want, it's about I have. And if you can feel that you have everything and more is on its way to you, then that is what you need to do. So I hope that this message helps and that the energies are hopefully going to start to stabilize, because it's been a bumpy ride the first, well, we're not even 2 months, well, we're about 2 months in actually, of the year, and it's already been extremely challenging. But hopefully things will start to smoothen out and the energies are going to start to settle and things can be a lot more calm for us, especially the people that have reached out to me and said that they've had quite a horrendous time. And yeah, so have I actually. It did start with those 6 planets that were in the same zodiac sign. That was insane. That was kind of a I guess the accumulation, the build-up of everything, and then everything had to be torn down. And the full moon that we've had as well has been very extreme, very challenging. So hopefully now we can step into a calmer place, now that things have started to be cut off, things that we no longer needed. Now that we can finally get rid of the rocky foundations, we can start to build a solid foundation to build our dreams on. So if you would like to connect with me, all my details are in the description. I thank you all so very much for watching. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.